Cowabunga, boys and girls. Welcome back to another Dave Cave Dave review. I'm Dave, coming at you from the Dave Cave, and tonight we have a very special action figure just waiting to be cracked open and played with. It is the Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Mirage Studios, Battle Damage Shredder by NECA Toys. I'm loving this line. I've been wanting this guy for so long, and I finally bit the bullet. Paid a pretty penny for him off eBay. He came in a matter of days, and then lo and behold, I see that he's popped up for pre-order at Australian retailers for like almost half of what I paid for him. So yeah, a little disappointed in that, but here he is. I've got him in hand, and I don't care how much I paid for him. This guy is awesome. I'm in love with the line, as I said, and I cannot wait to fill that Mirage shelf out with more and more of these guys. I have the 4-pack, the Jim Lawson pack on pre-order with all 4 turtles. I've got the Triceraton Zog on pre-order. I've got Splinter on pre-order. And I'm so in love with this line. So without further ado, let's have a look at the box here. I've got my ninjas there. I've got my Daredevil there. I'm going to pan back a little bit. If you know why those guys are there, then you get a gold star. But having a look at the front there, we can see Shredder in all of his glory. Now, there was a regular non-battle damaged version of this Shredder released a couple of years back. He was a con exclusive, I think. And boy, he goes for a hell of a lot on the aftermarket. Now, this is the closest thing I'm going to have to a Mirage Shredder in my collection because I'm not paying that much. But I'm super happy with this because he is lifted straight out of the page, straight off of Kevin Eastman's pencils and inks, and he looks superb. So, side there, we have some Eastman art there. We've got the logo up the top. It says number 6 there. I don't know if that's number 6 in the line. It must be. Then we've got some little glam shots there of Orokusaki in his shredder gear there with the chest cut open, the unmasked head on, and Mr. Shredder there holding the thermite grenade. We're going to talk about that in our lore section. And then look at that, guys. Some more Kevin Eastman art on that end there. Beautiful stuff. Alrighty. We're going to be back in just a moment to unbox this guy, have a look at the accessories. So just kick back, relax, get your thermite grenades and your utility belts there, get your spiky gauntlets on and your spiky fist thingies on because it's going down, folks. Shaka bras, and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, we are back. And here he is, unboxed in all his glory with his accessories laid out before us. Now, as you can see, this guy is painted to the nines, like one of those girls that stands on the runway and walks the runway on RuPaul's Drag Race. She is painted. Alrighty. Now, as you can see over here, our accessories, we've got 6 hands, we've got a thermite grenade, we have a busted shredder gauntlet, and we have an alternate head here. Now let's just go down the line and have a look at these before we have a better look at the figure himself. So over here we've got our wide grippy hands, and it's essentially 3 tiers of grippy hands with a left and a right of each. So these are obviously the XLs, the larges, okay, and I guess these are meant for gripping the thermite grenade there, or a lovely can of soda pop, or a little brewski. Maybe a Orokusaki likes to have himself a nice little glass of sake after kicking turtle butt. Now these are the medium hands. Now these might be for gripping some of the turtles' weapons, or the ultimate foot soldier that NECA is also about to release in the Mirage Eastman and Laird line. I think that figure comes with a slew of weapons, so you might be able to swap some of those weapons in with this shredder, pop them in those hands. And then we've got the small grip, aka the I was going to say the penis grip, but look, that's fine, we'll just say the penis grip hands, but probably also more for you know, swapping in some of those turtle weapons, you know, like the chucks or maybe Leo's katanas. Alrighty, on to the other accessories. The thermite grenade here, which I will talk about in our lore segment. The weapon that Shredder kind of goes out to, like a bit of a chump, I might add. I'm not going to lie, after all those years of Shredder content in the cartoons, the 87 series, the 2003 series, and, you know, everything else, to see what actually becomes of Shredder in the original source material, quite a shock to me. So yeah, the thermite grenade fits nicely into the XL grips, so that looks fantastic. And look at that, I love the dot connected to the line that goes around, kind of like Kirby-esque there, that line work. Love that, dig that. If you guys have been following this channel, you might be aware that I love Jack Kirby artwork. So yeah, digging the design on that. Here we have the busted gauntlet, the busted Shredder gauntlet that the Turtles present to their Master Splinter as proof that they have defeated the Shredder. So lovely. Not functional. I don't think you can swap this out with one of the gauntlets that he's wearing. But really nice little touch, nice little accessory there. And finally, we've got the alternate head, the busted Orokusaki face here after he's taken a little bit of a beating from our favorite bros. All right, now with the accessories out of the way, let's have a look at the figure himself. So let's have a look at this, guys. Look at that paint job on the face. Kind of reminiscent there of, you know, cell shading techniques, but this isn't kind of based on an animation. This is ripped straight out of the pages of the Mirage comic book, and as I said earlier, Kevin Eastman's pencils. So you can see they've really adapted that line work on those inks and applied them to this figure. And if you've got any of these Mirage NECA figures, you'll notice the same. These are kind of, this is a little heavy-handed, not in a bad way, not in a bad way at all. He's the Shredder. He should be covered in shadow. So there's a lot of black on this guy, and that's not a bad thing. All I'm saying is that on a lot of these other NECA releases, you're going to see a lot of beautiful little, just kind of like dot and dash work, maybe even some cross hatching here or there to add a bit of shade and really convey that comic book style. Yeah, fantastic stuff, guys. Really, really digging this. And as you can see here, this kind of sets the this Shredder apart from the original con exclusive version because he's got the slash right across the chest. So let's go top to bottom with the articulation. We've got head movement on a ball joint, so we've got a good range of movement on the head, and we've got a hinge at the bottom of the neck that allows for some, oh, how much forward movement? We've got a good amount of forward movement. We've got an okay amount of forward movement there. Backwards movement, I should say, but I'm not sure why there's a hinge there because, yeah, it doesn't really give us much. Maybe it's just, oh, yeah, maybe it's just new and it's tight, but yeah, we're not getting a lot of movement inside of the, underneath the chest there itself. So these pauldrons, all of the spikes, the gauntlets, the knuckle spikes, and the shin spikes are all really soft and plasticky, so you're not going to hurt yourself, hurt your little fingies there when you're posing him. But another thing is I'm always a little bit careful with NECA figures because I've heard of how brittle they can be. But without pushing it too much, I'm not getting much much movement. So I'm not sure if this guy can actually reach a T-pose. And you know what, with NECA figures, I don't really want to push it yet because I've heard stories. And yeah, this guy cost me enough, and I have a feeling that if he breaks, I ain't getting a refund. So I'm sorry, boys and girls, I'm not going to force it, but there is some swing movement in the arms. I'm just not sure if we can get a T-pose. There is bicep swivel. There's double jointed at the elbows. There is no swivel in the forearm. There is swivel at the wrist, and there is a horizontal hinge on each of those sets of hands. Yep, every single one, all 8 sets of hands. We've got the fist hands on the figure itself, but I haven't actually flexed those, but there is horizontal. We've got a good amount of swivel there, but no crunch, sadly. But I feel like crunch in these figures would just take away from the amazing paint job. We've got this little rubber overlay over the crotch here. It does not really hinder leg movement because we've got a great amount of leg movement forward and even more back. Look at that. Shredder can kick some turtles right in the nutsack. We've got some swivel at the top. It's a ball joint there that goes into the joint at the top of the leg, and then there's swivel inside of that. No, it just swivels around the ball joint. That's really well designed. I like that. Kind of gives the illusion of no. Do we have swivel? Yeah, we do. We've got a great range of movement in that ball joint, but then there is additional swivel inside of there. So yeah, we're going to be able to get some great poses out of this guy in the legs. Once again, no crunch. Then we've got double jointed knees. We do have a boot cut. So we are wearing a stylish pant from the early 2000s. We've got horizontal in the ankles, like most figures these days. Do we have swivel? Yeah, we do. We've got a bit of swivel there, so we're going to be able to get some cool poses out of him. And then, interestingly enough, we also have toe. So isn't that cool? He is a pretty well-articulated figure there, guys. And yeah, let's have a little look and see what we can do with this guy. Because I'm going to have a little bit of fun posing this guy up with the rest of my Mirage stuff. There he is. Orokusaki. You guys are going to get sick of hearing me say that. Yeah, there he is, the Shredder himself. Alrighty, my guys. After that lovely bout of articulation, I'm going to come back, hit you with some lore, and then we'll do some comparisons. Shaka bras. Alrighty guys, we're back with some lore, so check it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimate Collection Volume 1. This hardcover collects those first 7 issues of Eastman and Laird TMNT goodness, those rock and roll days, those self-published days of Mirage Studios black and white comic awesomeness. So let's have a look at Shredder's first appearance in issue 1 of TMNT. We're just going to look at this this very first issue published in May 1984. So yeah, this iconic story, guys, this super iconic story in which we first see the TMNT in all of their black and white glory is just one of my favorite little pieces of graphic fiction ever put to paper. It really is amazing. It's iconic stuff. Here we see the Shredder origin. We see Oroku Nagi, who is Shredder's brother, being murdered by Yoshi, and then Shredder himself, his first appearance in print, comes to take revenge. And so this takes us to the last few pages of this issue, in which we will see Shredder appear to face the Turtles. But does he want to face the Turtles? No, he sends his Foot Clan after them. He sends his Foot Soldiers. They try to finish the job, but alas, they cannot defeat the TMNT. And it is up to old Shredhead to take them on himself. But can he do it? Turns out he can't, because he gets pumped real bad. So there's the slashes on his chest there that we see that he gets from old Leo doing the old flyby there, the double-bladed flyby. And yeah, guys, he gets thrashed 6 ways to Sunday. He's getting kicked, he's getting cut, shuriken thrown at him, he's getting bow staffs to the back, and there it is, crack. The helmet cracks open, his face is all bloody. There's the blood dripping down, and boom, Leo runs him through with his katana. He's beaten. Leo offers him his his katana, and gives him the opportunity to commit seppuku, which is an honorable suicide, but Shredder refuses, pulls out the thermite grenade, and Donnie has other plans, launches his bow staff, hits him square in the jaw, and Shredder plummets off the end of the building with a thermite grenade in tow, and kablammy. That's the end of Shredder, guys. So that's it. Issue 1 and done. Shredder is born, and Shredder is taken out. So that's the gauntlet accessory. And you know what? Earlier I actually said that the Turtles presented that to take that home and present that to Splinter. I don't think they actually do. I think I got that from another toy review, because it actually looks like here they just tossed it into the trash, which is actually kind of poetic. That's awesome. What an amazing story. And a testament to the staying power of such an awesome character, that the Shredder gets 1 issue worth of story, but has spawned several iterations of himself. So yeah, what a absolute stayer of a character, what a legend of a character, one of the most iconic villains of all time, in my opinion. And super stoked that we get such a faithful recreation in plastic form, based on these amazing inks. So yeah, lovely stuff, guys. All right, let's get back to the plastic. We'll see you then. Alrighty, Shaka Bras, we are back. Time to do some comparisons. Here we have Shredder next to some other Mirage TMNT stuff. We've got the Fugitoid on the left here, and on the right we have the Utrom. 2 of quite possibly the most beautifully painted action figures I've ever seen, and 2 of my contenders for figure of the year. And here we have the NECA Mirage Casey Jones and the 2-pack Shredder clones. And here he is next to my OG Eastman and Laird TMNT knockoffs. Now, staying with NECA but in a slightly different scale, we have the TMNT 90 Casey Jones and Last Ronin. Now, I really like this one. We have our first comic version next to our first animated version in the Playmates Shredder, and our first live action version in the NECA TMNT 90 Shredder. And you could say that Shredder's standing here with 2 of his daddies. On the left we have Daredevil from the Marvel Legends Daredevil 3-pack, and on the right, the DC Direct Dark Knight Returns Batman, based on the art of Frank Miller. And here he stands next to the Amazing Fantasy number 15 Marvel Legends Spider-Man, and the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro card Kraven the Hunter. And finally, here he stands next to the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Bane, and the DC Direct Jack Kirby's New Gods Light Ray. I'm back, boys and girls. Time to give you my final verdict on this guy, and you're probably not going to be surprised to hear it, but I think this guy is dope. Seriously, his paint apps are incredible. He's lifted right off the pages of the comic book. He really is a faithful adaptation of the source material. His accessories are great, and honestly, I know that it's a very specific scene that he's portraying right now, but damn it, I don't really care. It's iconic, the character's iconic, and I'm gonna love having this guy on my shelf. NECA are really killing it with this Mirage line. The paint apps on all of these figures have been amazing, and I'll be sorely disappointed if they drop the ball at some point. But if they keep it up, honestly, they're just going to keep dropping these bangers. I know we've got a couple of figures coming out on the horizon. We've got a Jack the King Kirby figure, we've got a Baxter Stockman, and there's rumors of a new April coming too. So as long as they keep those figures coming, I'm going to be happy. And as long as they keep the QC up and these amazing paint apps up, I'm going to be more than happy. Look, couple of drawbacks though. I've got to say, after one night of pose and play, these guys' joints are a little too loose. Not sure if that's just the hot Aussie night that we're having, or if he is genuinely just that affected by one night's posing and play. The other thing is a little bit of paint chipping here and there, mainly on the bits that port into other bits, like here at the hands and here at the neck, at the very base of this head sculpt, the bit that ports into the body there, lots of paint has chipped off of that there. I've got a little bit of silver paint rub on this bicep here where the gauntlet there has been touching the arm, and honestly it's not been that much, but it's been enough to leave a little silver mark there on the bicep. Look, not a deal breaker, but just interesting to note nonetheless. Also, one of the hands, once I pushed them into the port there, it actually scraped the paint off of the little plug that much that little paint chips actually exploded out of the port, and I had to like blow them off of the figure there because there were so many little paint flecks just covering him. So yeah, I think that's just a NECA thing, nothing too drastic, not a deal breaker at all. This guy is still seriously dope, and if you are a Turtles collector, this guy is definitely well worth the purchase, especially if you are into the Mirage stuff. Totally faithful to the Eastman and Laird stuff once again. And as I mentioned earlier, I cannot wait to get my 4-pack so I can display this guy with the rest of the Turtles. Alrighty, that's it from me tonight, guys. If you like my stuff, hit me with a sub, slap the like button, hit the notification bell if you want to see more of me. I'm Dave, coming at you from the Dave Cave. Until next time, guys, take care of each other. Peace.